And hello to all my Cancer friends. I'd like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free psychic tarot reading for December 2021. Now today they have dialed up for you a storyline spread. It is a very large spread, a scattershot across all the different Cancers. This way we get the story that's right for you. I have had people say that multiple stories sometimes do resonate with them, and that does happen quite a bit. But at the same time, the storyline spread is really about finding the one. So let's get into that and see what story they have for you about your December. And we're going to conclude your reading with a couple angel protection cards, angel divination oracle cards. They have asked that I do 2 of them, so that just gives you a little bit of extra oomph, a little push in the right direction, Cancer. So we're going to see what they have in store for you here for December. Let's see what they got to talk about. I'm going to bring you in so you can watch right now. Go ahead and hit the like button, build up the energy in here. There we go. What I'm doing now I like to do on camera. They are my ritual cuts. Cuts the deck into 3 different pieces, puts it back together in a separate order. And that satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot. Then they're ready to run. Do the same thing with the oracle card deck. And there we go. So let's see what we got here. Storyline for Cancer, December 2021. I started with 5 cards and I see what they got from there. That's actually going to be the close. So these are the main 5 cards that I have for you. This is the main thing that I want you guys to see. I am going to tack a lot more cards onto it, but this is the main group. This is really what it's all about here. We only have 2 inverts, so we're good to read it as is. So let me pick apart where we break. We're going to do one story here, and then these 2 are going to... So we're looking at 3 stories here, Cancer. That's basically the way they set it up. We have 1 larger one and then 2 smaller. So let's add some stuff to it and see what's going on. I'm going to adjust the camera too so you can see this better. But for right now, I'm just throwing a bunch of cards around to get more information. This is going to be the big one down here. That's it for those. Now I just need one of these for each. Get in there. Okay. Let's see how we're doing on the camera here. Just gotta go down here. Okay, you can see that now. You can see that. I think we're pretty good all the way across. Not too bad. I can maybe scoot this up a little bit. There we go. There's our 3 stories. Let's zoom out and let's get to work, Cancer. With those 2 extra angel protection cards, it's usually just a little extra push here, and it's usually about one of these stories too. So let's get into it. Let's see what these stories are about. I'm going to start with the big one. Usually so much information as what they have here. It's usually my more personal story, so that means it's likely not the one for you. Just statistically speaking, it'll apply to less people, but at the same time I give you guys all of it. So make sure if this doesn't make sense to you, you stick around for story 2 and 3. So here we go. Just organize this a little bit better for myself. We start with a lot of you don't want to be alone right now. A lot of you want to be with other people. There's a level of heartbreak here in story 1. I told you this was going to be specific. So you know if you're going through heartbreak right now or you're not. If you are, likelihood is you got a message here in story 1. We have heartbreak going on. We got like I said, you want to be with other people. You want to be warm. You want to be with the group. They show we have the child card being upside down here. This could be that the children are affected too. This is not just you. You know, this is kind of just a rough time right now that you're going through, perhaps, as we enter December or as we're mitigating through it. Over here we have, well, I got to get one more card there. I missed one. Okay. We have a guy here. We got the King of Swords. We have a person showing him extremely tied down here with the 10 of Swords on top of him. So this is extreme confinement here. There's not a lot of mobility here. There's a lot of being stuck and tied down. Could be stuck in a relationship, but it could also more be just, you know, hey, I'm stuck in circumstances and stuff like that. And this may also not be a male. I also have to give you the kind of the context that this could be just a very, very strong, hard-headed female. that has, masculine tendencies. So these are, it's not confined down to a specific sex. It's more about kind of the passive and aggressive. In this case, we're talking about somebody very aggressive. So this person, usually a male, is they're showing extremely tied down, not doing so good with this. It doesn't look very pleasant. There is light at the end of the tunnel here. We have that this can actually be manifested. This whole thing can be changed. Okay, there is magic in the air in this situation. You have to see it, though. You have to see it to believe it. You have to believe it to achieve it. Is really what they're telling me. So this is what they want. They want you to manifest what you want here. They want you to really kind of use your creative consciousness to think about good things, to attract good things here. Because they're saying right underneath that, I have the Five of Cups. That's huge perception card, emotional attachments. If you look at the bad, that's what this card shows. You're going to attract the bad. That they go hand in hand. They're a tandem here. If you look right behind you, that's what they're telling me to tell you to do. Look right behind you. You have rewards. There's a lot that you still have here. Don't look at what you lost. Look at what you still have. Look at all the gifts. Look at the great family and friends and all the good things that surround you. For some of you, it's a good job. It's what they're saying. You have a really good job. Not everybody has this opportunity that you got. So just, it's a perception thing. So look at the good. The bad is going to be hard to avoid. It's going to be hard to not look at. But at the same time, like I said, it's very important that you don't dwell on it. Don't let it affect your month. You have the power here to change this into a very, very good thing. Over here, they show bad credit. I count that more as a return on investment. For some of you, be careful where you move your money in December, especially if you're attached to the story here, story 1. Very bad credit stuff comes up here. So this could be purchase stuff, but this could also be putting your time and energy into things or people that are not going to pay back. You're never going to get that energy back. So, just make sure that you're being wise with your energy, time investment, and also financial. The last thing we show here is the Angel Oracle card saying all is well. Basically, everything's happening the way it's supposed to. There's hidden blessings that you don't understand yet. So that's that vision, that 2020, hindsight is 2020. Like once you get through something, it makes a lot more sense. While you're in the wormhole, when you're in the time warp and in the loop and in the illusion, it doesn't really make sense at the time. But that's because you're looking at it from like a very 2D type of view. It's not until after you get through the situation when you can kind of zoom out, take more of a bird's eye view, and see the entire forest, see the entire picture of what's been going on and why it's been going on, more importantly. So all is well. It's happening the way it's supposed to. Long story short, they want you to pay attention to your current situation and also that manifesting. That the manifesting thing is the hugest part of that entire story. So like I said, that's a rare one, but got to give it all to you. That's it, Cancer. That's story number 1. Story number 2. Very, very successful love month here. For everybody not described in story 1, this presents itself as a quite big window of opportunity for my Cancers. Very, very good to see. We have the 9 of Cups. That's a card of great success. It's like a trophy card case. It's an award and it's an achievement. For most of you, this is just like an emotional feeling. Things feel good. The month presents itself. A lot of new opportunities. Right behind that, I have Ace of Cups. That's new love. So even if you're in a relationship, you can still have new love. You can bring your current love to new, greater places, higher places. Move it up a notch. Kick things up a step. That's really the vibe here. Things improvement. It's emotional fulfillment overflowing in the month of December. Very, very good. They say to breathe. So this might be a shift from what you're used to. You may be used to or have recently gone through some harder times, some rougher patches, and at this point, you're almost like breathing like oh, could this be true? Like, could it really get good now? Could that actually be a thing? So yes, it can. And remember to breathe, but also there's an energetic pattern here that they want you to pay attention to. Make sure that you release any old patterns that don't fit and embrace the ones that do. Very, very important as you move into new love. Always the advice there. And I guess it's a perfect time really to talk about the moon cycles, because the moon cycles hit this directly when we talk about releasing old patterns. Here they're talking about the full moon energy. I'm going to get to that in just one second. But first, the new moon. I like to give you guys the new moon and the full moon cycles for every month. It's kind of a little forecast I do, let you know what's coming and when are the best times for you to do what. So first we have the new moon in December. That's December 4th, beginning of the month. very easy to remember. That's a good time to manifest and bring anything new into your life. Now, that's what I just talked about here in story 1. We talked about manifesting. So beginning of the month, a good time to do that. Also the very end of the month, because that new moon energy is going to come back toward the very end of the month, moving into the new year. So that's all the best time for that. Now, as we talk about that purging of the old patterns, that's best placed in the middle of the month. We have the full moon energy. That's the garbage truck of the universe. Time to get something out. Old patterns, that's when we want to do it. We want to do it right toward the middle of the month. Now that hits directly on the 18th. You don't have to do it on the 18th. Anywhere in the middle is just fine. It's when that full moon energy is going to be high. So you can use that energy to your benefit to help move things or patterns out of your life so that you can experience that full, new, wonderful, overflowing love in whatever facet it exists. And new love coming in your love corner can also be family and friends. So it's just an overflowing good time with the entire group. And what part of that's going to be for you, Cancer? Depends on you. This is a general reading, so we have a lot of Cancers joining us and tuning in. So if you're looking for messages that are personal, private, and specific only to you, I do offer personal private readings on my website, scottsagent.com, a whole bunch of different services for everybody, and different price points, starting low, going to full service. And the best part about them is that they all are personal. None of it is shared energy. All about you. So make sure you check that out. So as we move into story number 3. We have some hang-ups here in story number 3. This is we have a little bit of health, we have a little bit of conflict with some fights, some internal struggles of some form. We start with the Hangman card. That's where they kicked us off with. So this is extreme delays. Things are getting extremely hung up here. It may feel like not much is moving, not much is going on. It's kind of like, when is this energy going to break? So that's the main thing that I want you to attach to here first. If the other stories didn't make so much sense to you and things have been slow, this story is for you. This is the card of, not a lot of change, kind of like business as usual, really. And you're just kind of waiting to see, like, well, when is this going to change? When is this going to get better? When is this going to break? At some point, it's going to. It may not happen in December. There is some work to be done first. Let's talk about it. First thing they want to talk about here, if you're with me in story number 3, Cancer, is balancing 2 different areas of your life. For most of you, this is work and family, home. Home, family, love. All that is the same corner. You're balancing it with work. They say that you guys have done a pretty good job of that. So we want to continue that because we don't want it to be imbalanced. And it's really, when that card comes up, it's really likely to happen, or at least challenge you in December. So work is going to be, doing that pull thing. I think we already talked about that in story 1. So you can see kind of the congruence on how some of these things, intertwine with each other. And so really the balance is key here. Make sure you keep that 2 areas of your life in check. And just in case it's not family and work, there's also your financial corner. That has to be balanced with the rest. And also your health. Your health, you don't want to be at the gym every day working on your health and take away time from your family or take away time from work too much. Everything in balance, everything in moderation. They show some of you here in story number 3 getting over some stick fights, getting over some quarrels, and basically some stuff that's usually just not worth it. It's not worth worrying about. It's not worth, ending a friendship or a relationship over. It's just little stick fighty stuff. It's usually same level, arguments or disagreements, sometimes siblings, sometimes your love relationship partner, and sometimes your friends too. So all that stuff pops up there for story number 3. Now they want to talk about chakra clearing. Interestingly enough, they didn't call for a chakra scrub, so they didn't want me to go through them individually, but they want me to bring attention basically that that your chakras are important. They want you to make sure that your spiritual health is in good shape, and pay attention to shapes too. That card is very much paying attention to geometry. So that may be a sign specific to you in December that they're trying to get something through to you, and they're going to use an actual shape to show you. And if it wasn't for me telling you that, it's something you might miss. So if they're trying to give you a sign, for example, of let's say a spiral is something that really attracts you, really resonates with you, you may be seeing that shape in December with a certain message. Maybe hear it in a song, hear him talk about something like that, or see it in a logo or something like that, where it just means something to you and it's a sign from the other side. So please pay attention to geometry as well as your chakras. Spiritual health, very important there. So that's story number 3. We've been through all that. I do need to tell you about the newsletter program. I've just got done doing a huge giveaway on my newsletter for my newsletter people only. I do stuff like that often. I also send newsletters only one time a month. It's just for updates, and it's also for coupon codes to save you guys money on reading, so you want to make sure you sign up for that. It's absolutely free. At the very bottom of my website, scottsagent.com, you enter your first name and like your last initial, email address, and you send that off and you're signed up for the newsletter. I've had people say that they're not getting the newsletter. They've signed up for it. Quite a bit of them go to the junk and spam folder. I have no control of where they go after they get sent. So make sure if you're signed up already and you're not getting them, make sure you check those folders because it's there, it's somewhere. It's just might just not be in your main hub there. So we've been through the newsletter, the moon cycles, pretty much the entire gamut here. The last thing I promised you guys is the Angel Oracle cards. We're doing 2 of those right here. Wasting no time, pulling right out. Sensitivity. Oh boy, Cancers are super sensitive in December. That's a double-edged sword. It's very good, but it can also be very bad if you're having a rough time. Like I said in story number 1, sensitivity is going to be that double-edged sword where, if you're going through rough patches, it's going to affect you quite a bit. But at the other side of that, if you're very strong and you overcome things, sensitivity is a really good thing because then you're paying attention to everything. Your awareness is so high, like nothing gets by you. Basically, they're saying that your energy is extra sensitive and also your emotions right now. I mean, that's super Cancer to begin with. You guys are extremely emotionally adept and on point with that. So really pay attention to your feelings too. That's another thing that comes up with this card. Sometimes they use that to try to get messages through to your heart. So very good things to see there. And then we end with spread your wings. So that's basically saying now is not the time to hold back. December is a good launch time. If there's anything you guys have been waiting to set off, like a new business, like a new relationship, any of these kind of things, are saying the timing is perfect here and that you're ready. They really want you to spread your wings. That's the name of the card. It's spread your wings. So it's a launch of some form. So very interesting way to wrap up. That's the Angel Oracle card divination protection messages for you guys. We've been through all of it. I hope you have happy holidays. I'm going to see you guys in January. Take care and enjoy.